Steve Jobs is remembered as one of the most visionary minds of the modern era, a man who didn't just create products, but reshaped entire industries. Yet behind his success lay a lesser-known secret, his extraordinary use of mental visualization. Jobs believed that the mind was not merely a tool for problem-solving, but a creative engine capable of seeing the future before it existed. He approached design, technology, and innovation not by following trends, but by imagining outcomes in vivid, almost tangible detail from the earliest days at Apple. Jobs practiced a form of mental rehearsal that many outside his inner circle could hardly comprehend. He would spend hours visualizing products, interfaces, and user experiences in his mind before a single line of code was written or a prototype was built. This was not idle daydreaming. It was a disciplined practice that allowed him to perceive the final result so clearly that his team could bring it to life with remarkable precision. Jobs' approach to visualization went far beyond sketches or diagrams. He imagined how a user would interact with a device, how each gesture would feel, how the interface would flow, and how the product would inspire emotion. He visualized every detail, from the weight of a device to the color of its interface, and even the subtleties of human interaction. By seeing the end result in his mind first, he could anticipate challenges, refine the design, and create products that felt intuitive, natural, and revolutionary. This ability to mentally simulate the future also extended to business strategy. Jobs often envisioned the trajectory of entire markets, the way people would adopt technology, and how competitors might respond. His mind was constantly rehearsing scenarios, testing ideas, and imagining solutions. Visualization became a tool for both creativity and foresight, allowing him to operate at a level that few could match. One of the most compelling aspects of Jobs' practice was the combination of clarity and obsession. He didn't just imagine vaguely. He immersed himself fully in the mental picture, exploring every angle and every possibility. This level of focus, coupled with an intense attention to detail, allowed him to identify flaws, opportunities, and innovations that others might overlook. Visualization, in Jobs' case, was not separate from work. It was work itself. Interestingly, modern neuroscience supports the effectiveness of this practice. Studies show that mental visualization activates many of the same neural pathways as actual physical practice. The brain does not always distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. By repeatedly visualizing the process, the desired outcomes, and the steps to achieve them, Jobs was effectively training his brain to perform in a way that aligned perfectly with his creative vision. This practice also nurtured resilience. Visualization allowed Jobs to anticipate obstacles and mentally rehearse responses to setbacks. By seeing potential challenges in advance and imagining how he would overcome them, he strengthened his confidence and prepared himself psychologically for the complex realities of innovation. It was a mental rehearsal that translated into extraordinary effectiveness in the real world. Beyond professional success, Jobs' use of visualization had a profound impact on his ability to inspire and lead others. When he shared his vision, he did so with clarity, intensity, and conviction. His team could see not just the technical specifications, but the emotional and experiential essence of what he imagined. This ability to communicate the intangible made it possible for entire teams to align with his vision, creating products that felt magical, cohesive, and revolutionary. If you are inspired by this story, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and share this video with others who are curious about the power of the mind. Steve Jobs' story shows us that the human imagination, when disciplined and focused, is capable of shaping the future in ways that go far beyond ordinary thinking. As Jobs' career progressed, his visualization techniques evolved. He integrated mindfulness, focus exercises, and reflective thinking into his daily routine. He would isolate himself from distractions to immerse fully in the mental simulation of products, launches, and strategies. This deliberate practice allowed him to connect intuition with concrete design, creativity with functionality, and imagination with reality, even during moments of uncertainty or challenge. Jobs returned to visualization as a compass. By mentally walking through scenarios, iterating in his mind, and refining concepts before taking action, he minimized wasted effort, reduced errors, and increased the likelihood of breakthrough innovation. Visualization, in Jobs' hands, was a tool for both foresight and execution, a bridge between vision and reality. As Steve Jobs continued to develop his approach to visualization, he realized that imagination alone was not enough. The mind needed structure, discipline, and repetition. He began to mentally rehearse products in extraordinary detail, imagining not only the physical design, but also the emotional experience of the user. How would it feel to hold the device? To swipe, tap, or scroll? What feelings would arise when interacting with each function? By mentally living the experience before creating it, he was able to anticipate obstacles, refine features, and craft experiences that felt seamless and natural. This meticulous mental rehearsal extended beyond the physical product to the entire ecosystem surrounding it. Jobs envisioned packaging, marketing, store layouts, and even the emotions that would accompany the unboxing experience. Every touchpoint, every detail, was considered in his mind long before it existed in reality. This deep, immersive visualization allowed him to create products that were not only functional, but profoundly engaging on an emotional level. One of the most remarkable aspects of Jobs' practice was the way it integrated creativity with practicality. While many innovators focus solely on technical capabilities, Jobs visualized both how the product would function and how it would be perceived, used, and experienced by real people. This dual-layered visualization ensured that Apple products were not only technologically advanced, but intuitively designed, beautiful, and emotionally resonant. The process also enhanced his leadership. Jobs could convey complex visions to his team with such clarity that others could internalize them and contribute to making them real. By visualizing the entire process, from concept to execution, he created a shared mental model that allowed teams to work cohesively toward a unified goal. His ability to translate vivid mental images into actionable plans was a key factor in Apple's unprecedented success. Visualization also played a role in problem solving. Jobs often faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, whether technical limitations, design dilemmas, or market uncertainties. By mentally simulating solutions, he could foresee potential outcomes and iteratively adjust his approach before taking physical action. This mental experimentation reduced errors, accelerated innovation, and enabled breakthroughs that may have been impossible through trial and error alone. Interestingly, research in neuroscience confirms the effectiveness of this approach. When we vividly imagine performing tasks, our brains activate many of the same regions as if we were actually performing them. Mental rehearsal strengthens neural pathways, improves coordination, and enhances the ability to execute complex tasks. Jobs' mastery of visualization can be seen as a real-world application of this principle. By mentally rehearsing every aspect of a product, he was literally training his brain and his team for success. Jobs also recognized the importance of emotional engagement in visualization. He did not simply imagine mechanical processes. He immersed himself in the feelings, excitement, and human response associated with the experience. This emotional dimension allowed him to anticipate user reactions, refine design elements, and create products that connected deeply with people on a psychological level. Visualization became a holistic exercise of mind, emotion, and intuition. Moreover, the practice cultivated resilience. In moments of doubt or external pressure, Jobs returned to his mental simulations to ground himself, explore alternatives, and reinforce confidence. By repeatedly envisioning success, overcoming obstacles, and mentally rehearsing challenging scenarios, he strengthened his ability to remain calm, focused, and adaptable in high-stakes situations. For those watching today, this story offers a powerful lesson. The mind has an extraordinary capacity to create, innovate, and solve problems when harnessed intentionally. Visualization, when practiced with clarity, repetition, and emotional engagement, can transform abstract ideas into concrete reality. Jobs' example reminds us that innovation is not merely about external effort or hard work. It begins in the mind, with disciplined imagination and focused intention. If this story resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and share this video with friends and colleagues. By exploring the methods of visionary thinkers like Steve Jobs, we can learn to apply similar mental practices in our own lives, enhancing creativity, problem-solving, and personal growth. As his career progressed, Jobs refined his visualization techniques further. He combined periods of intense mental focus with reflection, quiet observation, and even meditative practices. By alternating between active mental simulation and reflective awareness, he could evaluate his ideas, anticipate challenges, and continuously improve both products and processes. Visualization became an iterative cycle, a dynamic interplay between imagination and reality that fueled Apple's groundbreaking innovations. Even during moments of external chaos, tight deadlines, technical failures, or intense competition, Jobs' mental rehearsal served as an anchor. By internally running scenarios, exploring solutions, and anticipating outcomes, he maintained composure and clarity, ensuring that each decision aligned with his overarching vision. The mind, he demonstrated, is both a creative tool and a stabilizing force when properly engaged. As Steve Jobs continued to refine his approach, he realized that visualization was not merely about imagining a finished product. It was about anticipating the entire journey of creation. He mentally rehearsed design iterations, user interactions, potential errors, and even unforeseen challenges. This exhaustive internal simulation allowed him to foresee problems, explore alternatives, and make decisions with precision that often seemed uncanny to his team. Jobs' visualization was deeply holistic. He combined technical, aesthetic, and emotional elements into a single mental experience. He imagined the sleek curves of a device, the tactile sensation of holding it, the intuitive flow of the interface, and the emotional response of the user upon interacting with it. By integrating all these layers into his mental rehearsal, he created products that were not only functional, but inspiring, intuitive, and emotionally engaging. This method also nurtured his creativity. Jobs reported that many of his innovative ideas emerged not through random inspiration, but as the result of repeated mental simulations. By envisioning scenarios in rich detail, the mind generated novel connections, insights, and possibilities. The act of visualization became a cognitive laboratory where ideas were tested, refined, and perfected before ever touching a prototype. Moreover, the practice of visualization strengthened Jobs' leadership. When he shared his vision with others, it was as if they could see it too. His team could understand not only the technical specifications, but the feeling, the user experience, and the impact of the final product. This ability to communicate vivid mental images inspired alignment, dedication, and creative collaboration, allowing entire teams to work seamlessly toward a shared goal. Visualization also enhanced resilience and problem-solving. Jobs faced countless setbacks, from technical failures to business challenges. By mentally rehearsing solutions, anticipating obstacles, and imagining successful outcomes, he developed a psychological preparedness that allowed him to respond effectively under pressure. He taught himself and those around him that the mind, when engaged deliberately, could provide guidance, insight, and confidence even in the most stressful circumstances. Interestingly, modern research supports what Jobs intuitively practiced. Neuroscience shows that mental rehearsal activates the same neural pathways as physical execution, strengthens problem-solving abilities, enhances memory, and improves performance. Visualization can also increase emotional regulation, resilience, and creativity, qualities that were central to Jobs' extraordinary achievements. But perhaps the most remarkable lesson from Jobs' story is the integration of imagination with action. Visualization alone does not create results. It must be paired with deliberate effort, experimentation, and iteration. Jobs combined his mental simulations with hands-on design, prototyping, and real-world feedback. This combination of foresight and action is what allowed him to turn visionary ideas into tangible, groundbreaking products. For viewers today, this story carries a powerful lesson. Our minds have the ability to shape reality before it exists. By practicing mental visualization, we can clarify goals, anticipate challenges, and explore creative solutions with far greater clarity. Jobs' method shows that imagination, when disciplined and structured, can become one of the most powerful tools for innovation, leadership, and personal growth. If you've enjoyed this journey into the mind of Steve Jobs, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and share this video with friends or colleagues who seek to unlock their own creative potential. By learning from the methods of visionary thinkers, we can begin to cultivate our own capacity to visualize, innovate, and achieve extraordinary results. Ultimately, Steve Jobs' story is a testament to the power of the human mind. He demonstrates that when we combine imagination, disciplined mental practice, and focused action, we can not only create remarkable products, but shape the future itself. Visualization is not a mere thought exercise. It is a bridge between what exists in the mind and what can be realized in the world. As we reflect on his life, it becomes clear that the lessons of visualization extend beyond business or technology. They apply to every aspect of life: personal growth, problem-solving, creativity, and emotional resilience. By dedicating time to mental rehearsal, imagining outcomes vividly, and pairing it with deliberate action, each of us can harness the hidden potential within our own minds to transform ideas into reality and aspirations into achievements. In the end, Steve Jobs' mastery of mental visualization teaches us that the mind is not a passive observer, but an active architect. By envisioning the future with clarity, emotion, and focus, and then bringing it into reality through disciplined action, we can achieve what once seemed impossible. And that is the enduring power and legacy of his approach to thinking, creating, and leading.